Good morning everybody and welcome to episode 7 of Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. My name's Naomi and today is a very sunny Saturday morning. So it's Saturday the 18th of November. I don't know how we are in the middle of November, let alone it being November yet, but there we go. So we've had a lot of rain lately, so it's nice to have quite a nice bright sunny autumn morning. How are you? I hope you're all well and happy and healthy. I did have a chuckle to myself on the last podcast, the last episode that I did, just had a quick playback, and I was quite apparently very tired, a little bit all over the place, so sorry about that. Feeling a lot better at the moment, things seem to be more organised, so I'm still crazy busy but managing it better than I was, so there we go. Well, what have I been up to the last couple of weeks? Actually, before I do that, my handles. So I am Naomi Knits on Instagram and I am Big Bird, so double G for Big Bird, on Ravelry. Feel free to come and have a nosy at what I'm making, you're more than welcome. My stash on Ravelry isn't up to date. It is something that I do want to do over the end of year, New Year break. I want to kind of clear it all out and upload it. Basically I want to use that facility where they look at what is in your stash and recommend stuff, so because it's so easy to forget what you've got in the stash. But so there we go. I have got a few finished objects for you. Now this first pair, I can't remember if I had just finished one last time, but I've now finished the pair. And no, I've still not got around to sewing the ends. That's what I'm going to get done this morning. So these are for my friend's daughter, who's coming up for 7 years old. So I think I just did like a size 12, size 1 shoe size. The yarn is, I think it's like a BFL. I mean, it's from Knit Global. I think they've got a website, but they tend to be, sometimes they have been at some of the shows, although I've not seen them for a while. But yeah, this is in a nice hot pink colour. I tend to use 2.5mm sock needles and I prefer to do toe up. So I do the figure of 8 cast on, and then I tend to do a fish lips kiss heel, but I'll come back to that, and then finish off with 2x2 rib for about 11 rows. If it's 11 rows, if it's for children, I tend to do like more like 15, 16 for adults. So that's that one. Then for her sister, who's a bit older, I've also done her pair of socks. So again, I've not got around to doing the ends. So this yarn has been beautiful to work with because it's a high twist merino and it just feels really nice. This is yarn that I got in a fibre share a few years back from a lady in America, and it's Miss Babs, and the colourway is called Across the Universe, and it's got all nice purples, blues, blacks, whites, and it's quite a nice consistent. It's because I'm not a fan of pooling, but that's quite a nice even. Okay, so like that. I say kids socks, but she's size 6, so to me that's like adult size now, really, isn't it? So again, I didn't do the leg too big, because obviously they've got, although they might have big feet, they've got littler legs than adults, so I just did just enough for them. So I'm going to weave the ends in on those. I've also made a baby hat. So we've got a few people in work who are either expecting themselves or they're gonna soon to be dads. So I thought I'm gonna do some little hats. Now this one, to be honest with you, is probably quite big. I used DK and held it double, so it's quite a nice dense material. I think I used about a size 5 or 5.5, and for this particular one I casted on 80 stitches, and you can do it in multiples of 8. So this, I'm gonna say, is probably more of a toddler hat, but do you know what, I'm sure the baby will grow into it eventually. So I think the next ones we're going to do, I'm going to reduce it by 8 stitches or even 16, just to kind of get more of a smaller baby size. And then just finished off with a little I-cord loop, because I always think it's quite a nice little touch. I can't for the life of me do pom-poms. I tried, but I don't know what I do, they just disintegrate on me, and I do not need that stress in my life, so yeah. So that is that. These finish objects, a lot of them I do need to weave in the ends, but I'm calling them finished because they are finished. I'm sorry, my glasses keep slipping down. I didn't shower this morning and put moisturiser on, and I'm like, glasses are like... I did a shawl for a change. Now you might have seen the picture on this on Instagram, but shawls are funny to photograph, aren't they, because you can't quite show the size of them, and so a bit of a close-up for the detail. You can see the detail there. Some textured rose and some eyelets, and I used the pattern, I've got it written down here, is the Tan House Brook shawl. I'm going to put it around me as well, and the yarn that I used was from Curio Stitches Book of Shadows, and it's actually a sock set. So the darker maroon, it was like the mini, like a 20-gram mini, and that I didn't use all of the skein. I think I probably used about 60-80 grams of it. If I had the patience, I probably would have gone on for a bit further, but I thought it's just enough to put around your neck. So this is, I'm gonna weave the ends in, and then I'm gonna get that sent out. It's for my auntie. So I did mention to it a little while ago, but it was a little while ago. I just probably forgotten about it. So that'll be a nice little surprise for her. So I think that is all I've got for my finished objects. I'm doing everything the wrong way around today, because that's just how I am. What am I wearing? So sorry, phone overboard. I'll phone not do that. Oh gosh, blimey. Let's get this. Technical problems. Yeah, I'll not touch. Oh gosh, it's really not happy, is it? Sorry for that malfunction. This is a Zweig sweater, Z-W-E-I-G, Zweig. I've knit 2 jumpers in this pattern, and I really like it. It seems to kind of fit my shape, because I'm over 6 foot tall, and it feels like the yoke section, so you've got a detailed yoke and a little bit of colour work, and then it goes into plain body. There is, on the pattern itself, it has got a little bit of a pattern for the body, like some kind of like special stitches, but I thought I'm just going to stockinette it, which I know a few people do, so I thought I went with that. The yarn, the black yarn is a fingering weight, is by Countessa Blaze. I know she's not been selling for a couple of years, I think. She's not been on Instagram for quite a long time. And then the contrast, I got this beautiful skein at Edinburgh Yarn Festival a few years ago. It was 6-8 years ago. Usher Tita, and it was called Love is a Battlefield, and it was just a really stunning like dark red, and so I kind of wanted to show it off against the black, so that is what I did. So yeah, I've had this probably for about 3 years now. Washes fine, love it. And it feels like it's dressy enough to wear to the office as well, I think, so it's quite a nice detail. And that's where we are. I want to adjust the camera again to bring it down a bit, but I don't touch it because it's going to fall over. Works in progress. So as I mentioned before, I always like to have socks for my commute to be working on. And this is where I got up to last night when the train building. I'd started casting it off, but not quite, and I had to jump off because it was my stop. So it was almost finished. So these are for my cousin's little girl. I say working through this massive big list that I've got, and I told myself I'm not adding any more to the list. I'm like shutting off my order book until I catch up, really. And then the things that I'm going to add on are going to be stuff for me. The contrast for the toes, heels and cuffs is beautiful, and this is called Love Yourself by Dusty Dimples, and the main colour is called Spice, a really nice rich golden brown, orangey brown, and that's from Easy Knits. And what I did when I went to stay with my cousin and her family in the summer, I brought a load of different skeins, and I said to the kids, pick out what colours you want, and these were two that her daughter picked out. So she's a bit of a wider foot, so I've cast on 34 stitches, and she's also a size 6, so same again, it's like another adult pair really, but I've almost done one. Had a bit of a train delay early in the week, and I thought, oh, I don't know what, I've got my knitting, it is what it is, and gave that a bit of a good push. So there we are with that. Next, the only two ones that I've got really, I said the socks and my Rina sweater. So I'll show that. It's just like lifting out a cloud. It's just so floofy. I don't know if you can, probably can't see the fuzz halo, but I've done quite a fair bit of work on it since I last saw you. And it's just so thick. It's thick, but it's not heavy. So it's really fluffy, and I'll show you the yarns that I'm using. For the white, it's called Isager Alpaca Cotton, and so the pattern called for 3 of them, and I'll show you where I'm up to actually. So I've done the back and the front, and I'm almost halfway to the sleeve. I say almost, I'm counting and the pattern from the repeats, and I'm just about to start the 4th repeat there, and I think it's 7 repeats and then the rib for that. The only modifications that I've done is I added an extra repeat onto the length, just to kind of give it a bit of extra length on there. And the beauty of the construction is that you've already worked the neckband already into the pattern, so you don't have to pick up stitches at the end. Got some ends to weave in, but there we go. So I know that I am past the halfway mark point now. I'd like to say that I'm about 60% done. The reason being is the sleeves don't decrease right till the end, so they're very baggy. So I don't want to have the illusion that there's not much left to do, because they are quite big pieces. So the pattern called for a total of 3 of these, and this is the second one, so I'd say I've used about 1.5. My Suri alpaca that I got from Ducky Darlings, I got 2 skeins, that's what the pattern called for, and I'm probably about almost a quarter way through the second ball, so I think I'm going to be alright, but we'll see. I can always go back to Hayley for another one, but I think I'm going to be okay. And where is it? This is the 3rd of 6 balls of the Haworth Tweed Sirdar Tweed DK that I've got, so about half around there. So I think I'm going to be all right. I did a swatch just up there that I didn't unwind to use, so I've got a little bit of an emergency contingency if I need it. But I think I'm going to be all right on that score. I found a mistake. Well, I did a mistake in the body, and I had to kind of take back about an inch, because I'd knit 1 row too many of the plain blue before I started, and it was obvious. But then a little bit later on, I noticed I was a stitch short on the repeat, but luckily it kind of ended on that side seam, so I thought, you're probably not going to notice it, but I wanted to correct it straight away. And I looked around and I could not see it, so it's not visible. But I'd actually dropped a stitch quite further down there. But because the wool was so fuzzy, it almost kind of, like, not felts it, but it doesn't unravel as what like a sleeker merino one would do. So I found it, and this took a fair bit of looking, because I thought there's got to be a stitch somewhere. So I've caught it and I've just put a little pin in there, and I'll go back at the end and I'll just kind of secure it. So there we go. So I'm really happy with that. I'd like to say I'm hoping to get the first sleeve done this weekend, but I'm not going to hold myself to it, because my priority in life at the moment is my assignment. So I'm doing a diploma at the moment, and it's just started with the modules. And I've got 4 weeks now to kind of build this assignment up. So I'm kind of dedicating my Sunday mornings or Sunday daytime really to kind of have some quiet time to work on it. So I'm one of those that if I know what I'm doing, I can really get into the zone and work on it. But there's so many different references and research that I've got to do. So, but as I say, I've got another four or five weekends, I think it is, although the 5th weekend is the deadline one, so that's, I'm going to tell myself 4, so I've got a week to kind of iron everything out. So that's my evening knitting. It's a bit too big to put on the train. So working on that is it's going to be done well before Christmas, because I've worked out in an average evening it takes me, it's like 1 evening for a repeat. So if there's 7 repeats on each sleeve and I've already done 3, I think it'll be done within like 2 weeks. So that is that. And I did try to get into the habit of doing my studying on a Saturday morning, thinking I'll get it done straight away, that's out the way, the rest of the weekend's mine. But I found that after the week of work I was too tired, so I needed this full Saturday to just unwind, relax, get my jobs done, shopping, all that kind of stuff that you do. And then when I wake up on the Sunday, because I naturally wake up quite early these days at the weekend, by the Sunday morning I'm more refreshed. So, but this is it, it's all about finding your own strategy and what works for you. So that is all that I've got on my knitting front. I haven't made any purchases because I've still got my advent calendar to start on the 1st of December, which I'm really excited about. I do have knitting plans for it. I'm going to make a shawl, I forgot what the shawl is called. It begins with an A, and it's from Curious Handmaids. I want to say something like the Apocryphy shawl. Apocryphy? Definitely not Apology shawl. But it starts off circular, and it's like designed for like using minis and scraps and stuff like that. But before I commit myself to it, I want to open up the advent to kind of see, because I don't know if it's going to be like a gradient, if it's going to be all different contrasts or what, so I'm looking forward to that. So money tips, budgeting. I had, and sometimes it's not necessarily buying things cheaper. Sometimes we can budget by avoiding to buy things. So for instance, on this course that I'm doing, there was lots of recommended readings, and the organisation gave like a few books that they felt were like really worthwhile buying. One of them I did end up buying from Amazon, and it was, to be honest with you, I felt like it was a worthwhile book buying. It was like £17, but there was like others on the list that were going up to like 60, 80, 100 quid, and I thought, I don't have like 200 or 300 quid just to buy on the books. And we've, in our like community, village, town, whatever you call it, we have a couple of Facebook gifting groups where people give shouts out if there's things that they need. And I thought, do you know what, I'll ask. So I said, does anybody have any books on these kind of topics? And a lady very kindly reached out to me, and the books that she had bought were because she was doing the exact same course that I'm doing now, which was fantastic. I felt really uncomfortable and didn't expect her to kind of gift me them because they would have been quite an expense. So I said, look, I'm happy to return them to you in like 6 months' time when I've finished. And I thought, yeah, so I'm really happy. I did give a little bottle of wine to say thank you, because I felt like the right thing to do, and it saved me an awful lot of money. So yeah, so if you have sort of a similar, like, you know, a similar situation, check out swap shop, free gifting sites, things like that. Even if you think, oh, there won't be, if there's a big enough audience, there may be somebody that's got what you need and they don't need it anymore, or happy to lend you, things like that. So yes, I'm really happy with that. I've done really well with, done a little bit of Christmas shopping, and trying to avoid the whole noise of, oh, these are the latest things and everything, and not get too swept away of, oh, I need to spend X amount on each person, and to think, well, this is a gift that they would enjoy. It doesn't matter if it cost £5 or £50, do you know what I mean? So there we go. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I also, my son, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, my son is really due for a new mobile phone. He had my old phone, and he's had that for 3 years, and it's quite old to the point where some of the apps that he needs to do his homework for school aren't quite compatible. And I thought, well, he's proven that he can look after it. I couldn't quite justify buying him a super brand new one, and a friend of mine pointed me out to Music Magpie. They do quite good reconditioned mobile phones for a really good price, and they have categories of what condition they are in. So they have like good, very good, and pristine. So yeah, so we ordered one of that. It's arrived fine. We ordered one in very good condition, but to me it looks pristine. I can't see anything wrong with it. And the grades that they do isn't about how well it works, it's actually like the cosmetic condition of the phone. So the phone will be in good working order because they have to kind of do all the tests and all the whatever that they do. It's more like, so if it's a smartphone, if there's any very like minor hairline scratches on it, then that's how they grade it. So if that's something that you're needing to get this year, give them a look. And thank you very much to my friend for the recommendation, because I would not have known. So yeah, I think that is all from me today. Don't know what else I've got to say really, other than it's coming to that time of year where things get really super hectic for people, and things seem to get busy in the workplace coming to the end of the year, so you have lots of different deadlines. If you're parents with children, they have all end of year curricular activities that they need to do, and it can get really intense. So please look after yourself and make sure that you have some time for you. And I'm trying to take a leaf out of my own book and focus on getting to bed early and just getting that extra hour of sleep, because it really makes the difference for me. So please send me some comments on what you are working on. If you've not already, please feel free to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I get really happy when I see my numbers go up. And yeah, until next time, take care, see you soon.